the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, this is the MBN TV with the Mega News 6 live and direct from our studios here. But before we go, let's take a look at the headlines.
Melpu suspends action as Kolebu names acting lab head. In business, Ghana rises to Africa's 8th largest economy as GDP expands to $118 billion. And on the international front, North Korea says it is not bound by any treaty on nuclear non-proliferation.
My name is El Samuels. The details of the stories and many more coming up. The Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union has said that its members have resumed duties at the central laboratories of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
The union says the decision follows the appointment of the hospital's Director of Pharmacy, Dr. Charles Ofel-Pam, as acting head of the laboratory, pending a crucial meeting scheduled for Tuesday, May 12. Speaking to City News in Accra on Thursday, May 7, the chairman of Melpu Kolebu chapter, John Kofi Nakoja, said the union hopes to reach a final resolution on the ongoing leadership dispute. The newly appointed acting head of the Kolebu Central Laboratory, Dr. Charles Kwade Ofei-Pam, while confirming his appointment, said he will serve as a bridge between the two functions to help resolve the issue permanently.
So behind me is our newly acting head of department, Dr. Charles Ofei-Pam. He's a pharmacist by training, and he has been appointed by the chief director to steer the affairs of the laboratory for now, whilst we wait for another meeting on Tuesday. So this morning he came around to brief us what management have said. We are working and we are just waiting for the gentleman to provide or do the needful. So we are working whilst we are waiting for him. So we thank the chief director for his intervention. As law-abiding citizens, we are holding on to his commitments, even though we know so once upon a time some people violated it. But we are with him, we commensurate with him, and we are working as well. So we wait to see what will happen on Tuesday. So we are working. These are my colleagues busily working whilst I take the director around to introduce him to his new department. So per the chief director's direction, he has appointed him to oversee that the place is running smoothly, and we have another engagement with him on Tuesday. So between now and Tuesday, the hierarchy of the laboratory is engaging to find amicable solution to the impasse.
Government has transferred 6.1 million Ghana cedis to the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, also known as Mahama Care, following a salary deduction from the President John Dramani Mahama and his appointees.
Minister of State in charge of government communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, disclosed in a Facebook post on Thursday, May 7, 2026 that the Controller and Accountant General had formally notified the government of the transfer. The Controller and Accountant General has formally notified government that he has deducted and transferred a total of 6.1 million Ghana cedis to the fund pursuant to the President's directive, he said. According to him, the deductions were made in line with directives issued by President Mahama during the launch of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund last year. At the launch of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, Mahama Cares, last year, President Mahama pledged to donate 6 months of his salary to the fund, Mr. Kwachi Ofosu stated. He added that the President subsequently encouraged all political appointees to donate 1 month of their salaries to support the initiative. Mr. Kwachi Ofosu further revealed that appointees who failed to meet the President's initial deadline for assets declaration were ordered to forfeit 3 months of their salaries to the fund. He noted that arrangements were underway to transfer the final tranche, which would include deductions from appointees who defaulted on the Assets Declaration Directive. The Ghana Medical Trust Fund was introduced to support healthcare financing and assist vulnerable persons in accessing medical treatment.
Management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has dismissed a recent media report questioning the credibility and also reliability of the test results produced by its central laboratory.
In a statement issued on Thursday, May 7, 2026, the hospital described the report as misleading and assured the public that the laboratory continued to operate according to high professional and international standards. The hospital said the central laboratory remains one of the most advanced and well-equipped medical laboratories in Ghana and across the West Africa sub-region. According to management, the facility is staffed by highly trained and qualified professionals and also serves as a major training center for laboratory scientists from health institutions across the country. The statement further noted that the laboratory holds international accreditation under ISO 15189-2022, which confirms its competence in carrying out medical laboratory services. Management stressed that the laboratory's strong standards, accreditation, and track record guarantee that all results produced are scientifically accurate, valid, and reliable. The hospital also reaffirmed its commitment to improving laboratory services to support clinical care, diagnostics, and medical training. It added that efforts are ongoing to strengthen the capacity of the central laboratory to ensure the continued delivery of accurate and timely services to patients and healthcare providers. Conrtibute Teaching Hospital assured patients and the general public that they can continue to trust the integrity and quality of services offered by the laboratory.
Away from the happenings from the Conrtibute Teaching Hospital, we move to the business desk, where Ghana has climbed to become the 8th largest economy in Africa in 2026, following a significant expansion in gross domestic product GDP.
The growth is driven by strong performances in the mining, ICT, and financial services sectors. According to the latest April 2026 World Economic Outlook report by the International Monetary Fund (IMF), Ghana's economy grew to an estimated $180.29 billion in nominal GDP terms, up from $108.1 billion recorded in 2025. The latest figures push Ghana 2 places higher on the continent's economic ranking, reinforcing the country's growing influence within both the West African sub-region and the broader African economy. The expansion was largely underpinned by robust activity in the mining sector, particularly gold production, as elevated global commodity prices boosted export earnings and strengthened foreign exchange inflows. Ghana's gold industry continued to serve as a key anchor for economic growth, benefiting from sustained international demand and favorable market prices amid heightened global economic uncertainty. Beyond mining, the information and communication technology sector and financial services industry also recorded strong growth, highlighting the increasing importance of services in Ghana's economic transformation agenda. The strong performance of ICT and finance further reflects ongoing digitalization within the economy and the expansion of technology-driven financial services across the country. Ghana's improving economic ranking points to the growing diversification of the economy, with growth increasingly being supported by a mix of natural resources, services, and industrial activity. The latest data also suggests that Ghana's macroeconomic recovery is gaining traction after years of severe economic turbulence marked by high inflation, currency depreciation, and debt restructuring challenges. Despite the improvement in GDP size and continental ranking, structural vulnerabilities remain. Public debt sustainability, fiscal consolidation pressures, external financial risks, and exposure to global commodity price volatility continue to pose challenges to long-term economic stability.
Now, on the international front, North Korea's envoy to the United Nations has declared that Pyongyang will not abound by any treaty on atomic weapons and that no external pressure will change its status as a nuclear-armed state.
Ambassador Kimson's statement, carried by state media on Thursday, came as the United States and other countries criticized North Korea's nuclear program at the ongoing UN conference reviewing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty (NPT). Pyongyang withdrew from the NPT in 2003 and has since conducted 6 nuclear tests, promoting multiple UN Security Council sanctions. The country is believed to hold dozens of nuclear warheads. At the 11th NPT review conference currently underway at UN headquarters, the United States and certain countries, following its lead, are groundlessly calling into question the current status and exercise of sovereign rights, Kim said, according to the official Korean Central News Agency. The status of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea as a nuclear-armed state will not change based on external rhetorical claims or unilateral desires, he added. To make it clear once again, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea will not be bound by the Non-Proliferation Treaty under any circumstances whatsoever. He continued that the country's status as a nuclear-armed state has been enshrined in the Constitution, transparently declaring the principles of nuclear weapons use. North Korea has long insisted that it will not give up its nuclear arsenal, describing its path as irreversible and pledging to strengthen its capabilities. It has sent ground troops and artillery shells to support Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and observers say Pyongyang is receiving military technology assistance from Moscow in return. The 9 nuclear-armed states, Russia, the US, France, the United Kingdom, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea, possessed 12,241 nuclear warheads in January 2025. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute (SIPRI) reported. The US and Russia hold nearly 90% of nuclear weapons globally and have carried out major programs to modernize them in recent years, according to SIPRI. The nuclear issue has been at the heart of the US and Israel's war on Iran, with US President Donald Trump saying that Tehran, a signatory to the NPT, can never have a nuclear weapon. Iran denies taking an atomic weapon and has long demanded Washington acknowledge its right to enrich uranium.
And that's it for this morning's Mega News at 6 live and direct from our studios on MBN TV. But before we take leave, a recap of the top stories.
Melpo suspends action as Kolebu names acting lab head. In business, Ghana rises to Africa's 8th largest economy as GDP expands to $118 billion. And on the international front, North Korea says it is not bound by any treaty on nuclear non-proliferation.
For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. Up next is the Sports Update.